Hi everyone, we are Group Dream Teams. We are going to present our writing report of marketing research. My name is Cindy Tan Singping and my number matrix is 277117. I'm going to introduce our topic, the problem statement, research objective, and also the research framework. Our topic is the consumer behavior towards the online food apps during the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, COVID-19 disease will outbreak worldwide and bring a huge effect to the human life. Malaysia government execute MCO, movement control order, to prevent the disease spreading. MCO makes sure assembly and travel internationally, encompassing restriction on the resident movement, maintain the closure of industry, institution of education, government, and also the business. That it is not allowed, and this brings a negative effect to the food business. Online food apps become a preferred tool that is used by the food business and people, due to it can bring the two-way benefit to both. In our study, we are going to investigate the relationship between the customer intention and the different type of position. For example, like perceived ease of use, perceived usefulness, perceived risk, and the perceived trust to purchase the food towards the online food app during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are two problem statements. The first one is customer are lack of trust to use the online food apps in the beginning. Bear in mind, at the beginning, customers are rated to use the online food apps because they don't trust these apps can provide a good quality of food. The second one is not everyone is familiar with the technology. Not everyone know how to function the online food apps, especially the elderly. This is understandable because some of the procedures have many steps and may make people feel confused. We have four research objectives. The first one is to determine the relation between perceived usefulness of online food apps and the customer intention of online food apps. The second one is to determine the relationship between the perceived risk using the online food apps and the customer intention of online food apps. The third one is to determine the relation between perceived ease of use online food apps and the customer intention of online food apps. The last one is to determine the relationship between perceived trust using the online food apps and the customer intention of online food apps. For the research question are, is there any relation between perceived usefulness of online food apps and the customer intention of online food apps? The second one is there any relation between perceived risk using the online food apps and the customer intention of online food apps? The third one is there any relation between perceived ease of use online food apps and the customer intention of online food apps? The last one is there relation between perceived trust using online food apps and customer intention of online food apps? In research framework, we have four independent variables: perceived usefulness of online food apps, perceived ease of use online food apps, perceived risk using the online food apps, and perceived trust using online food apps. For the dependent variable is customer intention of online food apps during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is my part and I am going to pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Good day, doctor. My name is Chavanchi and my matric number is 2777709. Now we are going to look at methodology. In the research, we are using a quantitative approach. The approach is used in collecting and analyzing the numerical data to test the relationship between variables. In our study, we focus on the customer intention towards online food apps during COVID-19 pandemic, and the sample size is the undergraduate and postgraduate student of University Utara Malaysia. Besides, the convenient sampling approach is used in the research where our questionnaire are sent to respondents that we can easily contact, such as our friends. For the data collection technique, we distribute the questionnaire by using Google Form, which can be notified as an alternative to conduct research in quantitative form. The main channel we use to distribute this questionnaire link is WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. The period to receive response on questionnaire distributed through Google Form is 5 days, from 2nd of June to the 6th of June 2022. In the questionnaire, we use a 5 Likert scale to design questions for respondents to answer. In total, we obtained 270 respondents throughout the dissemination period. It can be seen that this data collection technique is very simple, functional, and convenient, as it can help us obtain a large number of respondents in a short period of time. In this study, we employ 6 different types of data analysis techniques to analyze the data. First is respondent profile. It includes gender, year of experience in using e-commerce, age, ethnicity, current employment status, and monthly income. Second is reliability analysis. The analysis uses Cronbach alpha to interpret the data. Third is normal distribution analysis. A normal distribution analysis results a straightforward summary of the sample and the measurements. Fourth is Pearson correlation analysis. From the Pearson correlation, the researcher interprets a significant relationship between the variables. Fifth is t-test analysis, which include one sample t-test and independent sample t-test. One sample t-test is used for the determination of an unidentified population, mean whether it is different from a given value or not, while the independent sample t-test is used to compare the means of two independent variables to determine whether there is statistical proof that the population means differ substantially. The last data analysis technique was multiple regression analysis. The aim of this technique is to explain the linear correlation between the independent variable and dependent variable. That's all from me, and I will pass it to the next presenter.
Good afternoon, Dr. and Desmond Tan, metric number 27722. Now I will continue to present results and findings. SPSS software is widely used as a statistical analysis tool to conduct massively complicated database operations and interpretation for result and finding of customer purchase intentions. The respondent profile results, reliability analysis, normal distribution test, Pearson correlation test, t-test analysis, and multiple regression tests are all included in this section. For demographic, this research project included 270 respondents from various demographic backgrounds. Respondents answered this questionnaire using Google Forms and online platform. According to the table, there were 119 male respondents with a 44.1% and 151 female respondents with a 55.9%. In terms of the year of experience with e-commerce, 36.3% of respondents have 1 to 2 years of experience, while 35.9% of respondents have 3 to 4 years of experience. On the other hand, there were 17% and 10.7% of respondents with 5 to 6 years and 7 years and above experience in using e-commerce. The average age of respondents in between 16 and 25 years old with a percentage of 52.5%. Malaysia has 3 races, and thus ethic result reveal the major races in Malaysia who participated in this research are 23.3% Malay, 61.5% Chinese, 15.2% Indians. In terms of the current employment status, there were 47.7% of respondents are currently employed, whereas 40.7% of respondents are still students. There were only 0.4% of the respondents who own a self-company. In terms of monthly income, approximately 39.6% of respondents reported having a monthly income of 1,000 ringgit or less. There were 21.9% of respondents received a monthly income of 3,001 ringgit or more. For the reliability test, the reliability test is used to assess the internal consistency of the variables. Cronbach alpha varied from 0.821 to 0.878, which included purchase intention variables and perceived of risk variable. Then there are perceived risk of use variables, perceived usefulness variables, and perceived trust variables, with Cronbach alpha values of 0.828, 0.373, and 0.878 respectively. In conclusion, Cronbach alpha values are 0.8 or above for all 5 variables, exceeding the acceptable threshold suggested by Sakaran and Mauji. As a result, this indicated that the measurement scale of 5 variables is stable and consistent. For the normal distribution test, refer to the table of the test result. All variables are normally distributed since the kurtosis and skewness achieve the acceptable value for normality plus 3. Based on the normal distribution test result, the customer intention of online food apps PI variable are the highest mean value, which is 5.6044, while the lowest mean value is perceived risk using online food apps PER, which only has 5.2030. For the standard deviation value, the highest value of variables is perceived risk using online food apps PR, which has 1.24321, while perceived ease of use online food apps variables PEU is the lowest value of standard deviation value, which only has 0.95885. That's all for me. Thank you.
Good day to doctor. My name is Hang Ziwei with metric number 2779447. Now I continue the presentation. For Poisson correlation, all of the variable significant values are less than 0.05. Therefore, all of the variables are significantly correlated. The most powerful variables are perceived risk, r equal to 0.784, and perceived trust, r equal to 0.784, followed by the purchase intention, r equal to 0.783, perceived usefulness, r equal to 0.783, and perceived ease of use, r equal to 0.774. As a result, all of the independent variables had a substantial link with customers' intents to purchase food from an online food app. The next one is t-test analysis. T-test analysis is classified into two types, which are one sample t-test and independent sample t-test. According to the one sample t-test result, t-value equal to 80.578, p equal to 0.001, any practical alpha level will provide a significant result. Based on the result shown, we rejected the null hypothesis, which states that there is not noticeable difference between our mean score and population average. This is due to the fact that the typical alpha level is 0.05 and the p-value of 0.001 is less than 0.05. For the independent sample t-test, we selected a 0.05 p-value as the significant level. Since the p-value for the purchase intention independent sample t-test is larger than the significant level of p-value, which is 0.243, the null hypothesis will be rejected. This is because the difference between the two means is significant statistically. The data provides credible proof that the means of the true population are not equal. The next one is multiple regression. The regression analysis findings demonstrate that the module could explain 65.5% of the variance, while perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use both substantially contribute to the module, b equal to 0.534, p equal to 0.000, perceived risk, b equal to 0.049, p equal to 0.05, and perceived trust, b equal to negative 0.037, p equal to 0.593 did not contribute to the module. The next one is summary of the hypothesis result. Based on the table, it shows that the perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use are supported, whereas the perceived risk and perceived trust are not supported. Hence, the hypothesis H1 and H2 are supported. However, H3 and H4 are not supported. That's all from me. Now I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Good day to doctor. My name is Oja Chen. My metric number is 277245. Let's continue our marketing research PBL 5 presentation by presenting about the discussion of the research. Based on the findings, it is possible to infer that the hypothesis observed outcome is satisfactory, with an average value of R squared 0.655, which denotes a variance of 65.5% of the consumer's behavior towards online food apps during COVID-19 pandemic. The result of this study, there was most strongly influenced by perceived usefulness that had the highest beta, which is b equal to 0.534 and p equal to 0.000. The finding was corroborated by Rugoho, who found that perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use have a considerable impact on customer interest in making online purchases. The next independent variable that influenced the customer's intentions towards online food apps during the COVID-19 pandemic is perceived ease of use, and this is supported by the hypothesis that perceived ease of use had a positive effect on their intentions on online shopping. Lastly, the other perceptions are found to have no significant effect on the customer's intention towards online food apps during the COVID-19 pandemic. Unexpected findings were met regarding the negligible impact of perceived risks relating to the safety, hygiene practice, and nutritional value of the meal they bought. Last but not least, I'll proceed the presentation with the conclusion and recommendations. Through a pre-survey, the research provided in this article studied many perspectives held by e-business consumers and discovered 4 primary perceptions that hold, namely perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, perceived risk, and perceived trust. Furthermore, throughout this research, we propose that e-customer's impression be used as a research concept. Based on actual testing findings, demonstrates that e-customer's impression is deserving of becoming a construction. Next, the research process had discovered a few limitations when conducting the questionnaires. The first limitation is respondents' reluctance to reveal their privacy. Some of the respondents are not willing to answer the questionnaires due to some questions that are sensitive, such as their monthly income. Besides that, the research process also discovered that different people will have different interpretation and understandings of questions. We cannot explain to everyone who is answering the question and cannot assure that everyone has the same understanding. Furthermore, the next limitation we face is the reliability of the results. We cannot expect to obtain the most accurate data or information when interpreting them in our research, since some of the respondents may not recognize the significance of this questionnaire to us. These concerns may lead our research to become untrustworthy, resulting in the appearance of unexpected results when we evaluate the data. Moreover, as the primary survey administration method, the study relied only on the Google Form survey. Hence, to overcome all the limitations, future researchers may use a variety of data collection approaches, such as focus group discussion or a combination of quantitative and qualitative, such as personal interview, to obtain more complete responses. There is some advices for future researchers to add in their study. The findings of our study undoubtedly offer up several possibilities for future investigation. In terms of constraints, the study was unable to include all feasible elements that may impact the online food delivery service behavioral purpose. Furthermore, it lacks diversity in terms of the sample chosen. The poll focuses on West Malaysia, specifically Kedah, and so does not reflect Malaysia as a whole. Other regions where online food delivery services are accessible should be considered by the future researcher. Second, additional research may be done by looking at the relationship between an e-consumer perceptions construct and other constructs used in marketing research, such as brand equity, customer satisfaction, and customer loyalty. That's all from our group, Marketing Research PBL 5 presentation. Hope our presentation is clear enough for doctor to understand what we want to deliver. Thank you so much for your attention and hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you.